Astăzi veți cunoaște un artist brilliant cu o poveste de viață impresionantă. Tânărul muzician german de talie internațională Felix Kliesser, care cântă la corn doar cu ajutorul piciorului său stâng. Și asta ca o demonstrație a faptului că talentul, munca și ambiția pot învinge orice obstacol. Pe mine m-a impresionat chiar de la repetiții. Felix, I am amazed by your interpretation. I was watching you during rehearsal, and it's astonishing the way you make difficult things look easy. How do you always find that strength?
Maybe when you practice something or you rehearse something quite a lot of times, then some things which seems to be difficult are getting a little bit more easier. So it's with everything in the world. When you look to an amazing football player, then it looks very easy to play football. When you look to an amazing pianist, then it looks very amazing. You think, oh, it could be not a problem to go to the piano and play a little bit, and it seems to be very easy. But when you try to play, then you think, oh no, it's not easy anymore. It's very difficult. But you know, it's all about, you know, practicing a lot and spending a lot of time with the instrument. So I started to play at the age of 3 years. So I spent many years with this instrument, and then it seems that it could be easy, but it's not that easy.
What's your first insight when you can't do something easily?
This happens every time, you know, and so the most important thing, you know, everything which you want to do is not easy at the beginning. But for me, the most important thing is that you're fascinated about something. When you're not fascinated about something, and when you don't have the will, I want to become a sportsman or a musician or to found a startup or something like this, when you're not fascinated about this by yourself, then it won't be work, you know, because I think especially in Germany, I can see there are many young persons. They are doing something because the persons around them are thinking about it would be a good idea. So they start to study a subject they are not interested in, but their parents or friends are saying, well, start to study maybe physics or something like this. And the most important thing is that you find something in which you are very fascinated about and which you like, and then it's easier to follow this way. And also, you know, it's of course, when you start to do something, then you will have problems, and you will have situations where you think, well, it's not possible to overcome this situation. But this is totally normal. And when you see someone who is successful, then he is not or she is not successful because he or she has a lot of talent. It's the reason is the person is able to overcome the problems, and this is the most important thing.
What's the strongest memory of your childhood?
My childhood was not the most beautiful childhood, I would say. So I would not say that there is a strong memory or something like this. I would say more later are strongest memories than at my childhood, because when I started to play the French horn, you know, it was everything I made was something, you know, it was very nice, but no one was thinking about, okay, this will be something big or something like this. So I was maybe the one and only person who was, you know, thinking of, okay, the things I'm doing are good, and the things I'm doing are getting a good result or something like this. So this was a little bit difficult at the very beginning. So not everyone trusts in you when you start to do something and when you're not successful. So this was the reason, you know, my childhood was maybe not the most beautiful childhood, I would say.
And why did you decide to pick this instrument, the French horn?
I can't really remember where I've seen the instrument the very first time. So I grew up in a family where no one was making music, no one was interested in music, and so there was no one around in the family area and in the friends area who had to do something with the instrument or with French horns. But I was 3 years old when I went to my parents and said, well, I want to play the French horn, and I grew up in Göttingen. It's a smaller city in the middle of Germany, and there was just one music school with one horn teacher, and my parents called him and asked, is it possible to get a lesson for our son? And he said, yes, okay, we will try. And this was the beginning of everything. But
why the French chord?
That's a question I don't have.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, I don't have an answer.
It was a chemistry between you and this instrument.
Maybe, but I was never in a concert, I remember, where I've seen the instrument, or I met never a horn player or something like this. And I think even my parents didn't exactly know what a French horn looks like. So this is a little miracle how I get in contact with this instrument and where I got the idea to play this instrument.
Fascination is your motivation.
Yes, of course. I was not, I was never that much interested in school subjects. So I didn't make my homework every day. So it was not something I was fascinated about. And I didn't saw a real reason why I should do all these things.
You hated math, I suppose.
No, math not, but school in general, the way how, go to school, then someone is telling you something, and then you repeat the things. But I was fascinated about, I never had the wish to become a soloist or something like this. I just had the wish to play the French horn as good as possible. And this was the one and only thing I wanted to do, not becoming a soloist, not becoming fame, not becoming rich. So this is not something I was interested, just to play the instrument as good as possible.
Do you have an elevator pitch?
I believe in human beings, and this is quite important, and in yourself, when you believe in yourself and when you believe that you are able to do everything you want, if you are in a situation where you accept to do everything for the things you want. That's very important. And, sometimes I have the feeling, I play a concert and then someone's coming to me after the concert and then he or she says, well, I'm so fascinated about how you play and I always wanted to become a pianist, but I'm not a musical person. When you want to make music, and then you can learn music. And it's not important how talented you are or how much you have from your genetic material, something like this. That's not important. It's important what you are able to give into your wish. And this is
education.
Something. Yes, and this is so nice because the meaning is that the person you are or the person you can be is not something which is given by God. It's something you can do by yourself. And this is something which is very motivating yourself.
A few months ago, you said something brilliant. The most beautiful thing for me is to create emotions, to create situations just with the color of the sound. And now, what's the color of your music?
Well, yes, for me, when I play a concert, then the most important thing is to make people happy, because that's the reason why we make music. I'm not making music to show I'm able to make music. I want to make music to make people happy and to give them a wonderful time.
Yeah,
and
but does music have a color?
Of course, that's the most important thing. When you sometimes it's not easy to understand for people who are not making music what I mean with that. But it's a little bit like a voice. When someone calls you and you answer the call, and the person on the other side just says hello, and he or she doesn't says his name or her name, but you exactly know who the person is because of his voice. And this voice shows so much, and it's not necessary to explain who you are, what you are, just the voice is important. When you know a voice and then you can recognize the voice, then you understand, okay, it's person X, person, so this is the most important thing. So when you make music, then you can play very quiet notes like everything is sweet, or you can play quiet notes like some mystery is coming, something dangerous is coming. Everything is quite music, but the color of the sound is creating the different emotion, and we all suddenly exactly know what will happen. So will there be a very cute little child playing with a ball, or will there coming a monster from behind? So everything could be quiet and very shy, but the color is making the difference.
How do talent and hard work fit back into each other? I mean, do you separate them, or instead try to make them blend seamlessly?
As I told you before, having talent is for me not the most important thing, and many people on this planet are thinking when someone is good in something, then the person has a lot of talent.
But you belong to talent.
Not that much. I think that there are many possibilities for every one of us, and that we can do many things on this planet if we are fascinated and if you are wanted to give a lot of energy in this. It's not important what you're doing. Maybe these are just small things. You want to lose your weight or something like this, This is unimportant what you want to do in life, but the most important thing is that you are fascinated and then you that you are able, or that you have the will to give energy in what you want.
What's the relation between coping, learning, and your own creativity?
The most important thing is when you want to be creative, then you have to be interested in normal life. So you have to be interested in every people, you have to be interested in countries and societies, and this is the most important thing. So when I make music and I tell a story, then I'm not telling a story about music, I'm telling a story about life. And music is just, you know, just my medium to communicate. You know, you can use words, you can paint a picture, you can make music, but the most important thing is that you have to tell something. And so the most inspiration thing is, you know, be interested in the life and in people.
Can you describe your state of mind during a concert?
When you prepare a concert, then you are very, you know, very concentrated of playing everything nice and preparing everything really good. But when you play a concert and when I go on stage, then, you know, I want to give my energy to the audience. You know, I want to make them happy. I want to give them all I have. So then it's not important that I play everything perfect and everything correct. Then the energy and the persons in the audience are important for me, because this is the reason why I do music. I don't like to play music for myself. So I'm not practicing for myself. I'm not playing for myself. I'm just making music for other people. And so when I'm on stage, then I'm, you know, there for the other people and try to give them
performance.
When I started to play the French horn, no one was thinking that could be a good idea to study music. But for me, it was, you know, it was very easy because it was my passion. And I was
chemistry, I told you.
Yeah, I was fascinated about this. And when you are getting successful in what you're doing, then everyone around you is saying the completely opposite. It's so fantastic that you play horn. It's a good idea. It's amazing. And so that's the reason why it's important that you trust in yourself and that you trust in your own emotions, in your own feelings, in your own wishes, and that you follow these wishes and these feelings and not the wishes that people around you have. What makes you happy? What makes you not happy?
So what makes you happy,
it's
actually?
I think the things which are making happy is to be free. You know, being free means I can do my own decisions. I have my own decisions. When I'm fascinated about something, I can do this, I can follow this.
Felix, what makes you brilliant? What do you think?
I would not say I'm brilliant. I would not say, you know.
I would say
okay,
yes.
Yeah, but I'm not brilliant, you know. I am like I am, and I do what I do, and I'm fascinated about what I'm fascinating. And there are many people are thinking, well, this is good what you're doing. And there are also people are saying, no, I'm not interested in Felix anymore because he is boring, he is stupid, I don't know. This is the reason why I would not say I'm brilliant. When I'm a very successful medicine guy who invented some medicine which saves many lives, then I would say this is something very, very important. But I'm just here for making the world maybe a little bit more beautiful. You know, this is something which is fascinating me. This is more a question of which attitude you have to life than of being brilliant or not brilliant.
Felix, thank you so much for joining me here at Romanian Public Broadcaster, and I wish you the best in all your projects.
Thank you very much.